Man, NJ, after watching that 1004, I'm glad that we can just kind of sit back, savor the moment a little bit, and get back to business like we do on our usual YouTube channel, talking about wrestling.
Because the thing is, even though it's after the Raw now, I'm still buzzed about it. I'm still looking back at the videos on YouTube and various other websites, talk to people about it. Raw gave us so much enjoyment, entertainment, and direction. Very nicely done, Raw.
And if you're not buzzing by it, then I'm afraid, well, what more do you want from WWE? I'm just going to say that right now. We're the British Fist. I am Mr. Parkin. This guy sitting next to me is none other than NJ.
What's up?
In his green shirt today. Subscribe up above, like this video, and comment any thoughts you have on the topic at hand in that title up above, down in the comment section below.
And make sure you contact us in the link in the box below.
Yes, especially on Twitter, NJ17, Daniel_Parkin, British Fist, with at the beginning, of course. So in this week's topical video, I think it's very right that we talk about the main thing that happened on Raw. We could talk about AJ Lee as GM, we could talk about the legends, we could talk about the returns, but let's face it, the show and the main event was essentially focused around two people. One of them being CM Punk, and the other being The Rock. And of course we know that basically what we're going to be discussing is we're going to discuss CM Punk's heel turn, and then we're going to be discussing his potential match with The Rock at the Royal Rumble. So we'll start off with the heel turn. You know, the way they did it, they had The Rock come down to save John Cena, of course, the two babyfaces, and then they had CM Punk come in and wipe the floor with The Rock, and he was over as a heel pretty quickly, wasn't he? The fans were booing the fuck out of him, so it obviously worked, didn't it? Especially with Rock out there, the big babyface that everyone loves.
That's very true. The surprising thing is, on the week before, I think it was, you had Big Show coming out and just attacking CM Punk, then out comes John Cena to the rescue, blah, blah, blah. So you thought they would reverse it and have Punk helping Cena, but no, they just let Cena get beat down, and that led to the heel turn.
Yeah, and you would think that having CM Punk end the show, doing this heel turn, it's a pretty big statement by WWE that they could be maybe trying to rectify some of their mistakes from the previous booking of CM Punk. Maybe turning him heel is a good way to, not just to end the show, which was a very good one, by the way. It was kind of surprising. It was kind of out of the blue, and I don't really think it was built up to an incredibly great. But I do think this could be a necessary character enhancement for CM Punk, because it could make him way more interesting than the vanilla babyface that WWE forged him into over the last year or so since the Summer of Punk. I will say that.
That's very true. But the thing about the switch from the face to the heel, I'm one of the fans that didn't really mind it or didn't think it was done badly, because we had, obviously, CM Punk being one of the top faces in the WWE, and in this situation, he had Big Show attacking Cena, the guy who's obviously the top of the company, blah, blah, blah. He could have saved him, but he thought, no, I'm going to sit back and then take my advantage. And then he thought, oh, Cena's knocked out, I can win it here. He had that thing deciding if he wanted to do it, but then he took the advantage, and I just thought, the way they built it during that match, I was quite satisfied, thinking CM Punk had so many thoughts in his mind, and then he went with the one that was laying there right in front of him.
And I agree the heel turn was done very well in the match. I just argue with the whole heel turn. It kind of just happened out of the blue. But I will say that it was a nice, surprising way to end the show, and it was a good addition to the 1004, having CM Punk, who should be probably a more focal point of the WWE. And that brings on to my next point, really, and the fact that CM Punk has been overshadowed for a long time. Could this be the moment that CM Punk actually becomes a focal figure in the WWE? I mean, they're planning on feuding him with The Rock, and they tease that very strongly here. So this could be a big statement by WWE that CM Punk, they're trying to rectify at least some of the mistakes from the Summer of Punk, which went down very badly in the end, despite the CM Punk great character they brought out of that. So it could be a way of rectifying some of their mistakes, make him a little bit more interesting, maybe even make him a little bit more of a draw, because let's face it, coming out of the Summer of Punk, CM Punk wasn't a draw, because they fucked up his character so much. Reinventing the character is part of what WWE does best sometimes.
And that's the thing, with CM Punk becoming a heel now, I am looking forward to this, because we know his mic skills are good, and the fact that he's got a fan base behind him, people are enjoying him going to a heel, hopefully he'll become one of the top heels for the company behind whoever else is there at the moment, which the WWE don't seem to have.
Big Show.
Right. And now CM Punk, this is going to be a good thing, because we've got The Rock being the top face of the WWF WWE. Now he's going to get probably one of the top heels, or going to be the top heels, being CM Punk. Very nicely made.
And we will talk about Rock and Punk in a couple of minutes, but we want to kind of get your opinions as well, especially you, NJ, on where you think now this is going to lead. Do you think this will lead to, after Punk turning heel on John Cena essentially and The Rock, do you think this will lead to Punk and Cena? Punk and Cena have to be involved at SummerSlam in the main event, well, not the main event, but in the WWE title picture. And the use of Big Show in there. Do you reckon it could be a triple threat singles match? It'll essentially lead between a match between one of those three or two, essentially, won't it?
Well, the fact that Big Show's not leaving Cena alone, I really think there's going to be more between Big Show and Cena, and the best way to do it
triple threat
is the triple threat way. And then, in my opinion, pair Cena off with Show, just so it leaves Punk out in the open for Rock and possibly one of the feud before The Rock.
Yeah, and a couple of baby faces who we can't really name off the top of our heads. But I think, to be honest with you, I think this heel turn, hopefully, and I do say hopefully, will establish Punk as a legitimate main eventer. Mind you, we said this about the Summer of Punk, and it didn't come across. But I hope that this heel turn establishes CM Punk as at least a top heel. I mean, I think we can both agree that CM Punk works a lot better as a heel rather than a babyface. We saw how vanilla he was over the last year, and he does work a lot better as a heel. It's just more, his persona is better as a heel.
Even though in the fan base he was over as a face as well. The fans loved him, they all wanted him, even though WWE didn't book him correctly. But as a heel, I think he has more of the opportunity that way, especially when he's got The Rock, who's obviously going to stay as a face in his remaining time in the WWE.
Oh yeah, there's no way they can turn Rock heel now. You know, not even Hollywood Rock could be heel at this point. He'd still get cheered. So give us your thoughts on the first half of this video. What do you think about CM Punk's heel turn? Do you think it could make CM Punk a little bit more of a staple piece in the WWE? What are your thoughts on the way they did the heel turn as well? Give us your thoughts down in the comment section below. But right now, we want to move on to quite a big topic, and that is the potential match. And we say potential because it's not set in stone yet. Potential match between Rock and Punk at Royal Rumble. They teased this very strongly on Raw, didn't they? And to be honest, if they would be very stupid if they didn't make that match happen now, considering how much they actually sort of pumped it to us on Raw.
And the fact is, the majority of the fan base are going to want to see Rock and Punk more than Rock and Cena again. So with Rock and Punk, I think that match will offer us a lot more for the future, as well as offer Punk what he needs going for the future, more than a rematch against Cena.
Yeah, and as much as I don't like Rock going after the WWE Championship, I am quite compelled to see the Rock. We've seen him face John Cena. Now he's going after what is essentially, I guess you could say, was the second babyface. Now is one of the top heels in the company after that quite epic heel turn on Raw, going against one of the top heels. I do really want to see this match. I've wanted to see this match ever since last year. So I just say this though. Why the Royal Rumble? The Royal Rumble already has a massive draw. I know maybe Rock's working a movie or something over WrestleMania, but would this not have been better maybe at Survivor Series, which does need a draw and has had low pay-per-view buy rates in the last couple of years? Or maybe even have this as a special match at WrestleMania? Just your thoughts.
Well, my thoughts straight away, as soon as he said the words Royal Rumble, I just thought, bam, that's what we need for a few reasons. Number one, if The Rock is going to become the WWE Champion, if he comes at Royal Rumble, there's a short period between then and WrestleMania. So if he held the belt, he didn't have to worry about, oh, I've got to hold this for 5 months before I have to leave again. Yeah. He's only got a short period. That's one reason. Number two, the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, it has to rumble itself, and there has to be other drawing matches. And if we're going to have a drawing match with The Rock being at Royal Rumble, I can just see that being really good news.
If The Rock is at Royal Rumble, it will have to main event, which means the Royal Rumble won't main event, which I always thought Royal Rumble should main event the pay-per-view, but Rock versus Punk, if they do that, and if they don't do that, they're pretty stupid in my opinion. That will have to main event Royal Rumble. So it will be, in my opinion, very stupid if they don't do it, but they teased it very strongly on Raw, very well, and I am compelled to see this match now. Even if it is going to be at Royal Rumble, which in my opinion already has a draw, and they should probably do it at another pay-per-view, but they're probably trying to work around Rock's schedule.
Well, with the Royal Rumble being the main event, I do agree that the winner of there should have the fireworks going, standing on the turnbuckle, blah, 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 great finish. But obviously, I think they're just doing basically what's best for Rock and the period of time that he's got left before he possibly leaves.
Now, Rock did tease earlier on in the year he wanted to go after the WWE Championship, and while I am not a fan of a part-time guy going after the WWE Championship, really, which should be a full-time guy thing, Do you think that they'll make Rock beat Punk at Royal Rumble? I mean, by then he would have had over a year title reign, and if they do that, of course. But hey, I said do again. FTW. Do you think they'd make Rock beat Punk and go into WrestleMania as the WWE champion to maybe Cena beat The Rock at WrestleMania for the title? I'm just putting it out there because if Rock isn't going to be there for WrestleMania, which he may not be due to filming, then they have to make Punk win, surely, if he's the champion at the time.
Well, the way I see it is that the way to do it, there's two ways. Number one is give Punk his win over The Rock early before WrestleMania, give him his defining win going to WrestleMania, when Punk maybe loses the belt to a heel or face, shall we say now, at WrestleMania. It'll be a big blockbusting thing. But at the same time, they could do the other route where they have them, Rock becomes the champion, he goes by what he's promised, and then at WrestleMania he loses the belt to the Royal Rumble winner.
So there's all these different scenarios. I mean, for all we know, it might be Cena versus Rock at the Royal Rumble, for all we know. But that's it. I think if they do enter a program with Punk, with a program with The Rock, which it seems like they're going to do, if they're going to establish CM Punk as a legit main eventer, they're going about it the right way in the sense that a guy like The Rock, The Rock, who main evented WrestleMania 28, could really raise CM Punk's profile, couldn't he? Especially if they want to make him into that legit main event heel, which he hasn't been for a while.
And if they do go down the route of having Punk and Rock somehow at WrestleMania, just because it's the biggest stage of them all, Rock's probably last pay-per-view before he leaves again, if this is going to be Rock's last, let's say, appearance for a while before he stays out the WWE, because this is his second year now, they decide to stick around, I think he should go against Punk, because obviously if they're trying to make Punk a step behind Cena, this match would definitely put him up there compared to last year where Rock didn't really accomplish much apart from beat Cena.
I think, to be honest with you, the next guy down from Cena is CM Punk, so you had to have Rock essentially go after CM Punk, whether it be as a face or a heel. CM Punk is essentially the number 2 guy in the company. But so Rock versus Punk. If they do that match, I will very much look forward to it, even though it will main event a pay-per-view, which I already feel has a draw, and it probably should be at WrestleMania. Give us your thoughts on that, guys, the potential of a Rock CM Punk match. Do you have any other thoughts on this in this scenario?
There's still the chance, because eventually we all know that Cena's going to get the belt back sometime, but in this moment in time, it should be the focus on CM Punk, because Cena's already had, as we've seen previously, so much accomplishments. Lesnar, Money in the Bank, and this match coming up with Punk. So now it should be about Punk, rising him up, giving him what he needs, especially when we go towards the new year of the WWE. And I really hope that they forget about Cena, even put Cena a boring feud with Big Show here, just to get out the way and concentrate for the next few months on Punk in a more positive direction.
I really hope they don't do what they did at the Summer of Punk and take what could potentially be a great angle, which could make a great character and a great draw, and essentially flush it down the toilet. And I do hope one thing as well. After this episode of Raw that we watched and all this stuff was really good. I hope, because the show pretty much focused on CM Punk and The Rock, and it wasn't focused on John Cena for a change. I just hope that at the end of the day, this whole thing doesn't all go back to John Cena being the champion or anything like that. I really hope it doesn't do that because, guys, WWE at some point you're going to need to establish another guy other than Cena as your top guy. Now, CM Punk has the ability to be some kind of top heel if you make him into a draw. I still believe they're building up Sheamus to be the next sort of John Cena guy so they can turn John Cena heel at some point down the line. And another question, was this WWE's big angle? Do you think this was the big angle, not the AJGM? Because it seemed to me, the Punk heel turn, potential big match, that seemed like the angle, didn't it?
Well, to be honest, I think the big angle thing was just to get people to think, oh, what's going to happen? To get them tuning in. I don't really think it was actually a planned big angle. I think it was just to grab eyes.
They did need a big angle, though, really. I mean, you look at the past years, and they did need a big angle going through the show. I mean, they've already got kind of like a big-ish angle in Triple H and Brock Lesnar. And now they've got sort of a biggish angle going into Royal Rumble and possibly WrestleMania. So, I think it was the big angle, but it's not going to be like the full time. Because Rock and Punk, let's face it, it's not going to be on TV every week. But Punk as a heel is going to be on TV every week. And everything probably be filler until Punk and Rock maybe face off down the line after a year-plus title reign, which would be impressive for Punk.
Would be indeed.
Like I said, any more thoughts?
I'm really looking forward to this because now the big focus is after SummerSlam, which is coming up soon. How are they going to build up future feuds leading up to the Royal Rumble? And I'm really interested because with CM Punk hopefully still being the champion and with The Rock somewhere floating about ready for the Royal Rumble, good things should come from this.
It's funny how this episode of Raw and what happened here actually got us thinking more about the future. When the episode of Raw itself was supposed to focus on the last 1,000 episodes, for all the people out there that said that it didn't do anything for the future, well, look what it did for SummerSlam. Look what it did for Royal Rumble. Look what it did for CM Punk possibly down the line. Let's hope it doesn't. Let's hope WWE don't fuck this up. Please don't fuck this up, WWE. Give us your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you feel we've missed anything with regards to CM Punk's heel turn, or The Rock versus Punk potentially being a pay-per-view, give us your thoughts and responses down in that comment section below. And also be free to video response us as well, as we do enjoy your video responses.
We do indeed. And now I can say this, people, this video has been the biggest thing for the Raw just gone.
Yes.
Please share your thoughts, because there's so much thoughts going around this on what the direction of The Rock, Cena, Punk, and even Big Show. And all I can say, people, from Mr. Parkin wearing this cool shirt and me wearing this green shirt, till next time, YouTubers, thank you very much, and goodbye.